बैलेंस कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा?
भाई मुझे नहीं मालूम, मैं मीटिंग ज्वाइन कर रही हूँ, रुको।
नंबर तो बोले
नंबर तो बोलो थी।
आधार कार्ड लिंक करके
Hello, Sachin. Hello, Sachin. Sachin, can you hear me? Sachin, Taruna. Hello, Taruna.
Yes, sir. We are there, sir.
Yeah, okay. Dot 4.2. 402
Yes, sir.
will start.
Absolutely. I request all the participants, all the teachers to kindly switch off their videos and mute themselves. I request all the dear teachers to kindly switch off their videos and mute themselves. I request our dear teachers to kindly switch off their videos and mute themselves.
Yes, ma'am, start.
Good evening, everyone. It is rightly said, to be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. And here we have amongst us a personality of distinct vision, a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge, experience, and a role model for all of us. Backed up with 25 years of teaching experience in secondary and higher secondary education, our elated speaker is a teacher in Somalwar High School and Junior College, Nagpur. She has been a master trainer in English for the last 15 years. Dr. Roy has been at the helm of affairs for many events and have published several articles and research papers on critical topics. She wears many hats, reflecting her dedication to the profession of education. She has single-handedly spearheaded umpteen workshops, seminars, and projects which have proved to be instrumental in the field of education. Our today's expert is recognized for her path-breaking and trend-setting work and has bagged many renowned awards to her periphery. To quote one of the most notable one is the Savitribai Phule Ideal Teacher State Award by the Government of Maharashtra in the year 2016. Madam, I Taruna Patel, on behalf of Elle Mumbai, am indeed honored to introduce you to our eagerly awaiting audience. The audience, here we present to you Dr. Shubhra Roy. It's all yours, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Taruna. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay,
My
thank you
pleasure,
so
ma'am.
much. Yeah, thank you. Before I begin with my presentation, let me thank all the Elle team members for organizing such wonderful webinars, the whole series rather, Let me tell very proudly that I have participated in each and every webinar in Series 1 and Series 2, and that has contributed a lot to my knowledge and skill that I'm going to present today. I also extend heartfelt thanks to the Elle team for giving me this opportunity to speak before the galaxy of intelligentsia here and my revered brothers and sisters from Mumbai region. I have been given the novel. For the last 4 days, we have seen how the objectives of webinar series are being accomplished by the stalwarts of in the fields of education as well as technology. I am not a great tech buff, but let me tell you that I've learned it all through these webinars, and I'm going to present today a novel. Novel is a new genre introduced in this year's SYJC with an objective to make the students read the extract and transit towards the actual novel. That is supposed to be the objective for the novel to be introduced in the textbook. It is a great challenge for both teachers as well as students. We need to face the challenge boldly, and I must say, if we don't keep our date with time and situation, we will be outdated. So let's involve ourselves in teaching novel through Google platform. The procedures of using the Google Classroom has already been dealt with by the previous speakers. Let us see how we can use some of these tools for teaching a novel. Due to time constraints, I have already drafted some in various forms, some questions, and that I'm going to share with you in a couple of minutes. So shall we begin with the presentation? So first and foremost, what do we do while teaching a novel? Actually, there are no activities for teaching a novel. There are no ice-breaking activities. There are no warming up exercises while teaching a novel. So it becomes very difficult for you to frame activities before you start teaching a novel. So when I started with this now 4.1, when I started with 4.2, before that, I had to thoroughly go with 4.1, which gives you history of novel, so that you at least the students at least come to know about the literary elements of novel, and then I presented them with 4.2. The same slide I'm going to present now. Just a moment, I'll present. I hope you all can see the screen.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay. So
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
thank you so much. So this is the presentation, a novel, To Serve with Love, the first novel, the first extract rather, and written by Eustace Edward Ricardo Braithwaite. So first and foremost, before we go with the novel, before we go with the literary elements of the novel, it is very important that we tell our students to read. Now, I have not used the page from the Adobe Reader, then copy paste. I did not do that, but we have already sent them PDFs. I have sent PDFs to my students before, so they do have the book with them, and we tell them to read first. Now, we tell them to read, but how many of them read, that we don't know. So we tell them to read, and if they read, these explaining these literary elements and explaining the other things become very easy. So this is the first step is that they are supposed to read. Read and read. That should be their mottos if it is a novel. Okay. Then let's go to the second slide. Let's see about the author, E.R. Braithwaite, a Guyanese-born British-American novelist, writer, teacher and diplomat, best known for his stories on social conditions and racial discrimination against Black people. Most of his writings deal with difficulties of being an educated Black man, a Black social worker, a Black teacher, and simply a human being who found himself in a set of inhumane circumstances. About the author, we have to tell them more because this is an autobiographical novel. Every point has to be explained here, why he fought for and what he fought for, what was his objective of writing this novel too. Then I'm not going to explain in all deep all the meanings here, because we all have our own way and our own style of presenting and delivering a novel, isn't it, teachers? So you know the best way, you can guess the best way, but this is how I go with the novel. Then about the novel. To Serve with Love is an autobiographical novel. The narrator is an engineer, but to make both ends meet, he accepts the job of a teacher in a rough London East End school. The school is full of troublemaker students who ridicule and bully their teacher, but later, Braithwaite's calm demeanor and desire to see them succeed gradually earns him their respect. This we can relate to our own students, we can relate to ourselves when we change our approach towards molding our students into a good human being. So this novel is very relatable, you can identify, every teacher and every student can identify with this novel, and hence when we are telling them about the novel, or when we are introducing the novel to them, such examples need to be given. Then we come to the elements of the novel. Theme, plot, characters, setting, conflict, language and style. These are the 6 basic themes of a novel while teaching any novel. This is common for any novel. So let's go to the first one, that is the theme. Now, when you are dealing with the theme, the first theme that comes here is the student-teacher relationship. The student-teacher relationship. Braithwaite gets a job of a teacher in a tough and notorious school. He finds that the school belongs to a background that is not suitable for learning and their overall development and progress. He notices that the students are in no mood to change their attitude and behavior. In this situation, should he change the approach or should he change his job? This makes the theme of student-teacher relationship in the novel the first and the foremost. Then comes prejudice. Prejudice both sides. Prejudice of the students and prejudice of the teacher as well. Then finally racism, which is a very important theme here. Racism that prevalent in Great Britain during the mid-40s, the time period during which To Serve with Love takes place, is of primary significance in the novel. The narrator cites repeated incidents in which he experiences the racism of white Britons, where while teaching racism or while telling about racism, we can also mention the recent example of America, cases of racism in America. We can give them examples to make them understand the theme racism. Then next literary element is plot. Narrator's role as a teacher. The plot of this story is that there is a new teacher, Mr. Braithwaite, and he's trying to get these students to have respect and appreciate the value of education. Now here, the teacher is just not giving them education. He is just not interested in giving them education, but aims of education are not academic knowledge, but holistic learning. He kindles the students towards the love of learning. He develops approaches that foster connections between the subject and the learners. So this is the plot. And then how the narrator changes his approach, trying to handle his students amicably. And obviously the heavy history of colonialism and its dark consequences. So this is the plot. Then the characters. Now you can see that I have just put the major characters, and other characters I have just written other teachers and other students. We have asked the students to already read the extract, and therefore this can be one activity wherein you know the major characters. Now you read the extract and you find the other characters. There are a lot of confusing names there, and because Braithwaite has inculcated courtesy, every girl student is addressed as Miss. So there can be a confusion, Miss Philip, Miss Pamela, who is the teacher, who is the student. So if the students read the extract very carefully, they can answer this question about characters here. And these are the major characters in the story, in the novel. Then the setting. This is again very important to tell them, the students, in what setting this novel is based. After the war, he was unable to find employment. Later, he is accepted as a teacher in London's East End and is set to teach the senior classes of the school. We need to tell them the time period throughout the novel. This is not just the extract, but throughout the novel, This is extract is chapter 17, but the novel has 22 chapters. So throughout the novel, Braithwaite presents racism as endemic to colonialism. As a colonial power, England had created a system of governance which requires the subservience of conquered nations, most of which are definitely non-white and many of which are black. This racism permeates the thoughts and actions of white Englishmen, women and children, and this racism you will find almost in every chapter of the novel. Not particularly in the 17th chapter because it is about the weekly student council. Then conflict. Internal conflict of the protagonist, racism. Braithwaite faces a lot of racism, what goes on in his mind. Students also, conflict in the students' minds as well. Because students are always trying to find their real identity in the society, and most of the times they are taken for granted. Now, those who show bad behavior, those who display bad behavior, we need to go into the root that there must be some problem why they are doing so, or probably for finding a real identity they are doing so. So this kind of conflict continuously goes on into the minds of the students. And the external conflicts also is shown in the novel. Various situations that narrator faced due to his skin color. When he came, if the children are asked to see the video, when he was coming into the school, the children threw something on him, threw water on him, then they started talking in a foul language with him because of the color of his skin. So these are the external conflicts that are involved in the teaching of novel. The language and style. This is the last but a very, very important element, literary element of novel. Here I have just cited example describing the weekly review. The author used epithet pet schemes to underline the director's positive attitude. Then he has used phraseological units, he has used synonyms, he has used antonyms, he has used figurative language. In the end, the last, in this extract, when the session is about to get over, Miss Phillips broadly smiled and said she had gobbled her canary without leaving the tiniest feather. She had overpowered the debate against Denham. So this figurative language is used. From the point of view of syntax, the text includes a lot of long and complicated sentences. It tells that narrator is well-educated person. All these language means reveal the author's manner, his style of writing. He renders his feeling and thoughts such a way and therefore reaches his desired effect. After explaining this part is over, then we come to the conclusion. It is worth saying that this story is autobiographical. It can be a very good book for future teachers because such story is rather plausible in the present days and maybe in future too. I need not cite any example. Every one of you might have faced some or the other way this kind of problem either in your class or in your college, and this is going to continue in future. So a lot to learn from the novel as a teacher, a lot to make the students learn as students from this novel. Well, now learning outcomes, I found these questions very important, and these questions may also be important as far as our evaluation is concerned. When a novel is being evaluated, which are the points that need to be evaluated? Express your opinion about the issue you want to focus on for your study and infer what the author's opinion is about the same issue. So either you go critical with the author or you go in favor of the author and you express your own opinion. Describe a character in depth. Describing characters is a must question. It is describing a character in depth and explaining how various aspects of character relate to other literary items of the novel. For example, how does character relate to the setting? How does a character relate to the theme? How would you explain racism as according to the author? So describe how a character's personality, attitude, conflict, and relationship changes and explain why these changes are important to the novel. The character's personality changes. Denham was a very, very tough person to be dealt with as a student. And literally we find in the end of the novel that people change. Those students, they change. Their attitudes change. Their relationships change. Okay. So this is one question. Then infer the author's purpose of writing this novel. Why at all did he write this novel? Okay. Then explain how the author develops the theme in the novel. It's intervened from one to the other. He goes very smoothly. Make connections between the novel and any or all of the following. Your personal world. This, I think this is not to be told, because each of us are very consciously or unconsciously, whenever we are teaching any genre, whether it is drama, whether it's short story, whether it's anything, when we teach them, when we teach our students all these things, it is quite obvious that we transit from the main theme to something which is real, and we try to relate the real life situations, our personal world, with that particular novel. So here we can relate it very well. I just want to give an example. Rani Mukherjee starred Bollywood movie Hichki is also based on the same theme, and the movie is almost the same theme. So we can ask the students to watch the movie and to identify these students with those in the Hindi movie. Even To Serve with Love is also available on YouTube. That also can be, we can send them. Instead of sending the whole movie, I would suggest you send a trailer. I'll show it to you in the end of the end of my presentation. Then making connections between the novel by personal world, aspects of human nature, society and the wider world, history, etc. Create a list of quotes which describe characters, conflicts, and theme. 2-mark question is asked, which is little objective type. In that, we can have these kind of, or for further reading, you may say, for deeper reading, you may say, creating a list of quotes. Describe at least one setting from the novel and explain how the writer made the setting come alive to you as a reader, giving personal response. Explain how at least one other text helped you understand the theme of the novel, and provide a close reading of the language used in a specific section of the novel. So these are the things that we need to imbibe in their minds. So this is the way they should prepare for their examination for while preparing for a novel. I hope I'm very clear in this. And next is the challenges. This is what I faced, and this is what most of us face, because we have to cater students with varied needs, isn't it? With diverse needs. So what question, the immediate question that comes to your mind when you see a new genre in textbook is, what if they don't read? What if they don't accept this? When last year drama was introduced, many questions came up. That drama, my goodness, it's so difficult. How will we go about with it? What will we do? But that was 11th class, not very important as far as evaluation is concerned, but this is definitely important. So what if they do not read at home? How to get them participate? These are the questions for you. You have to think about it. I cannot suggest anything according to your environment, teachers, because you have to make such adjustments according to the needs of your children that you are catering to. So these are just the questions that you have to carry, and you have to solve them, find the answers on your own. What if they do not read at home? How to get them participated? How to include any related background? And what if they are unable to understand? There are so many times there are some students, those who are unable to understand. People come from vernacular background. First of all, it's very difficult for them to digest the language. And above all, when we give them genre, it really becomes difficult, like a drama and novel. But then we have to, and if they are unable to understand, then what are the modes that we try to make them understand? Okay, so these challenges we have to face, we have to go with, and we have to find answers to these challenges. Fine. Now I'll exit from here. Yeah, and I hope I'm not going very fast. I hope I'm maintaining the speed. Can I get some response?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, fine. Fine.
Okay. Thank you so much. Fine. So this was the Google slide, which I'm going to close now. And now once the novel is over, I began with reading. The student is asked to read the novel. Once the explanation is over, the student is asked to reread the novel. If possible, we send them ebooks. Ebooks are available. If they can download it, well and good. If not, through Google Medium or through Google platform, we can send them ebooks. They can refer to that if they want to go for the complete novel, or they can just stick to the textbook. Only one extract has been given. Beautifully, the theme has been mentioned, given. Then the synopsis has been given. So if they read it, they will understand what the writer wants to say in the novel. Fine. When after the novel is over, then I take you to the classroom and for classwork now. I've already created these documents so that I don't waste much time. First, we come to the theme-based question. Answer the questions in brief. So the theme-based questions are these. Again, these have been taken from the textbook. We will stick to the textbook. Yeah, this one. So this is prepared in Google Docs. This is the theme. When the turn of my class came, I sat up anxiously. If they don't read, they do not know who said this. But then he has given why was the narrator anxious. A narrator is expressing. So why was the narrator anxious? Explain the statement by citing suitable references from the extract. The child has to read the extract. Select two statements that describe the theme of the extract. Again, reading is important here. The relationship between the teacher and the students is highlighted in the extract. Illustrate with suitable examples from the extract. So all the examples they find in the extract. And finally, explain in brief the theme of the extract and describe the atmosphere of the school that is described in the extract. So these questions will be theme-based questions. If these questions the students can answer, they know the theme of the passage. And in order to answer these questions, they have to go to the novel again. So this was the theme. Well, I am going to the next question. In classwork, and that is plot. First I'll go to plot and then I'll go to summary writing. So this is the question. Answer the following question with reference to the plot of the novel. Again, this I have taken from the textbook. Arrange the incidents in a correct sequence as per their occurrence in the extract. The teachers are able to frame more questions like this from the textbook, from the novel, from the given extract. This is just an example given. Many such questions can be framed for evaluating the understanding of the child in plot. The next question is, write in your words the entire half-yearly report program of the Students' Council. So this will be writing skill. And describe the discussion that took place between Miss Joseph and Denham. Here we have taken Miss Joseph and Denham, but it can be any two characters. It can be the presentation given by Pamela and Denham. It can be presentation given by Potter. So, or it can be a discussion that is taking place between the narrator and the headmaster. So any question can be put there for understanding the plot. Fine. After plot, I will go for setting based question. Look at the given pictures carefully and identify the event that took place. This is just an example that took place in the extract and describe it in your own words. So just don't identify the event that took place in the extract, but also describe it in your own words. So this is the setting based question. You can see pictures here. This is the first picture. Immediately the students identify this is graduation ceremony. And we know the figure there, it's Azim Premji, so we can even given them more information about it. When you ask, when I showed this picture in my class, people said a debate session is going on, a speech is going on, or whatever, it is a review in the class. And this picture, it is a very obvious picture of a cultural gathering, and it is a sports day, annual sports day. So which of these four pictures can you relate with the extract? So we come and finalize at this one. That this character, this picture I have selected because this character looks a lot like Denham in the movie. So I have taken this picture. There are better pictures which you can take. And these, with the help of these pictures, we can take the students towards the setting or any other question as well. So this is one question. I have just put one question to give you an idea how such questions can be posed so that the children, many times they go to the extract and read it. And then this is the setting based question. Then about characters. So what better than a quiz for characters? Read the extract carefully and find out the correct answers in the following. So these are the questions here. Yeah, identify the characters. Who among the following Who among the following is a teacher? Let's say this is day 11, so I have typed it wrong. Which of the following students reported on physiology? It is Miss Dare and Furnham. And which of the following characters is innocent but firm and authoritative? That's Miss Phillips. When the children submit it, I want to show you how they can view their responses and you can view their responses. When the student submits it, immediately view score. Your response has been recorded. You can view the score here and see 6 out of 6. I had only 3 questions here, 6 out of 6. And even the feedback comes here. Okay, and if anything is wrong, the correct answer is shown. So this is how we can go with identify the characters in a form of a quiz. So I will go to the next question now. Next question based on summary writing. Summary writing. Here, the name here I have not typed name and school and class. If you want, you can put it and then write a summary of the novel. Add file. They can add a file and they can submit, and then you get it back. Okay, and you can read, evaluate, grade, as in the previous classes was told how you can grade, and then you can even return them. Okay, so this is how summary writing goes. And I have one more question for you that I'm going to create and show you. At least one question I should demonstrate. So I go to assignment. I go to add. I'll add from YouTube. I won't send them the complete movie, but I'll send them something from the YouTube. Let's see why. Yeah. I will go with the trailer. Search directly from the YouTube, or you can even create link. So let's take this one for now. Add. This gets added. Now title, if I give trailer. Yeah. And instruction is
Ma'am,
what?
please
Yeah. Hello.
the full screen.
Yeah.
Present the screen, please.
Oh, the screen you can't see. Okay. Okay. Just a moment. Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
So shall I continue?
Yeah, full screen only.
Full screen only.
Full screen.
No.
Can't see?
No.
Can't
No.
see?
No. No.
No, ma'am.
I can't
No, ma'am.
see
You
it.
can't see the full screen, ma'am.
You
No.
can't see the full screen?
It's just a small window. That's it.
मैडम कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा है.
अच्छा एक मिनट just a moment.
Ma'am, you can pin your presenting screen. The screen you are presenting, you can pin it.
Yeah, okay. Still visible. I'll go again. Shall I go again?
Yes, please.
Now, can you see?
Yeah, continue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am, it's visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, instruction is watch the trailer and find out the dialogues given in the extract. So this is how, and then assign. So when you assign to your student or to your class, this trailer is posted, and then the students go and watch the trailer, and after that they try to find out the dialogues from the extract. So this is one activity which can be given to them here. Now when we give the trailer, the movie is based on the complete novel, and we have to concentrate only on the extract. So here in front of you, I just selected any trailer and I just posted it. But when you want to post only that part which is in the extract, you will have to go through the whole movie and then you need to edit it. So what I did was, I could not show you now because I don't have it right now. You can, I have a software called any edition software you can go for, and just you have to cut from the first part and the last after, let's say after 30, it's a 33-minute movie, after the 30th minute the last part. So if you can edit it and if you can send it, it saves time. It does not save your time, it takes a lot of time to do addition, but it saves time for the student and he can concentrate only on the part that is given in the extract. So this is one method how you can go with it. And there are many other exercises given. One activity that is given in the book that I would like to mention is we can frame a lot of activities on that, and that is the last one. The last one where it says, again, we can do the same thing with give them the trailer. Following are the dialogues of the major characters in the extract and find out who the speaker is. So this is one activity. His tone, his style, his significance, and the significance of the dialogues in that particular situation. So this can be very well given through this Google platform. So this was the last activity that I had to show you. And then I think that my 40-minute presentation has come to an end. And concluding part, again, when we leave the students with the novel, after the explanation of the novel, after how we give them the assignments, it has to be, the follow-up has to be taken, and this is a very good means. Google Classroom is a very good mean where we can actually check the assignments and send them back to. So do use this, and of course go with your own methods of teaching a novel, but these activities can be framed in this novel, and I hope that once you teach them Sir with Love and give them so many activities, they will fall in love with the novel and they will go for the novel. Our main objective is that extract should take them to read the actual novel and the complete novel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I request teachers to post their questions, if any, in the chat box. Dear teachers, you can post your queries in the chat box, please.
How to teach students novel when students are in the Marathi medium? Okay. Okay, there was one question which I could not read completely. Can anyone please pass on the question to me? Thank you so much.
Yeah, how to teach students novel when they are from Marathi medium, or actually non-English medium, you should say.
Non-English medium, yeah.
Yeah.
Non-English medium. The same pattern as you teach the whole book. What do you use when you teach the whole book? When you teach the whole book, do you teach in Marathi? Do you switch over to Marathi? Do you use a bit of English and a bit of Marathi? Whatever is easier for you, but I would always prefer that if you are teaching them in their vernacular language, if you're completely using Marathi, then the students do not have the practice to listen to English and therefore they are not able to write. So maybe you can switch over to their mother tongue, because learning in mother tongue gets easy, but this is not a subject that we are teaching. It's a language that we are teaching. And therefore, it becomes very important for us teachers to go with the language that we are into.
Thank you, madam. Mr. Pankaj Bobde is with one more question. Will you please repeat the sequence how to deal with the novel? So I request Pankaj sir to go to YouTube and Facebook and see the session once again. There you will get the sequence also.
If he wants me to repeat, I can just 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that for you. First is theme, and then comes the plot, and then come the characters, then comes the setting, and then the conflict, and then finally the language and style.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Any more questions?
Yes, sir, expected questions.
Is there a need? Somebody has asked, I don't know what. Thank you so much.
Sachin, read the question.
Yeah. I teach students who come from vernacular background. How do I present in a better format?
By making them watch the film first, with English subtitles, of course, and then give the summary in probably their own language. And I think this was the same similar question that I answered previously, that you have to do it in English, but when they do not understand, you have to make them understand. And specifically, this novel does not have a very, very difficult vocabulary, but then you can switch over sometime in between if you feel that they are unable to understand. But I will strongly again suggest that please keep it English through English.
Is it essential for the students to read the whole novel?
It is not essential. It is not essential. The extract is more important. But we want to, if any child is inclined towards reading, we need to encourage reading also. When we are teaching them language, we are teaching them skills as well. So reading is one of those skills. So if they get encouraged to read, then it will be better. But it is not compulsory that they should read the novel.
Tenkar sir has come with a technical question, madam. How to teach the students online when they are using mobile phones?
Yeah, it's very difficult when they are using mobile phones. It is very, very difficult. But some students, they are using mobile phones very comfortably. They can use a stand. I mean, technically you are saying, okay. Technically, Google Classroom I have not used in a mobile phone, so probably I will not be able to guide you properly. I have used in the laptop, and any online class is always good in either a laptop or a desktop.
Shubhra ma'am.
Yes.
We can use it in classroom in smartphone.
Okay. Android phone.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Many
Next
students
question.
are using, because many students don't have laptops. In my college, at least, they don't have laptops, so they are using mobile phones.
Are the objective questions asked in exam based on the novel? This is something with evaluation pattern, ma'am. Zumbar Darkness wants to know, are the objective questions asked, or will the objective questions be asked based on the novel?
That will be answered later. That I cannot answer here what will be asked and what will not be asked. But then let me tell you one thing, that 2 marks are allotted to objective type questions. So we can expect, and let us prepare our children for all kinds of questions, because this is going to be the first paper, first activity sheet for standard 12. So we have to prepare with them with all the things, all the necessary things. And that is why we are going to prepare them for both objective as well as detailed.
Ruby Francis madam wants to ask you, is there need to make the students read the novel extract page by page when the online lecture is on or is going on?
When the online lecture is going on, you can do one thing, ma'am. With your presentation, if you are presenting, then along with your presentation, say you complete theme and plot one day, so that you read only that part of the novel. Don't do it at a stretch. And you can continue in the next day. If you want to read it, then you should have the page in front of you from the PDF, so that you can actually read it out to the students.
Kulkarni madam wants to know, isn't it important that provide them a background of what happens before and after what is given in the textbook?
Yeah, definitely. That is why I said the teacher needs to know the novel. That is why I said the teacher needs to know the novel. And therefore, when we initiated with the previous things. It is not given in the extract. Whatever I gave you in the slides previously, It is not from the extract, it is from the complete novel. So when you initiate, you give the background before what happened before the extract, and obviously what happened after the extract. That is why I said that chapter 1 to chapter 16 has to be summarized and given to them as a story, and then chapter 18, 19, 20. So this is how foreground, background, everything has to be discussed. What happened previous to the background, the extract given, and what happened after that.
Now there are no questions in the chat box because the other queries that you have answered already.
Yes.
So the other queries are not, no, they are repeating repetitive questions. So,
Okay.
Sunil Patil, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall we go ahead? Yeah, we shall wait for some people to post some questions.
As I can also read, queries are similar one. So
Yes,
no
sir.
new queries. So shall we come to the conclusion part now?
Yes, sir, sure.
Sheila ma'am is ready, I think.
Sheila,
I'm
madam,
ready.
please come in.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
you are audible.
A common question which all of us ask nowadays. Okay. On behalf of Elle Mumbai Division, I, Mrs. Sheila Narasimhan, am honored to present the vote of thanks for this session. It does not matter where you go and what you study. What matters most is what you share with yourself and the world. And today, Taruna Madam has proved it by sharing her expert knowledge by enlightening all of us through the genre novel introduced this year in the textbook. Ma'am, your lucid explanation and the various techniques necessary to deal with this genre has been dealt so deftly that will surely help all of us to reach out to our students and solve their problems. I thank you for accepting our invite and being a part of this webinar series. My appreciation is also extended to all English language experts who are with us live on various streaming platforms. How can I fail to express my gratitude to all the English language teachers from our state who have participated and enthusiastically joined us through Google Meet, YouTube, and Facebook. I would like to sum up with a quote. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And I feel we too should keep moving ahead in this time of crisis by equipping ourselves with innovative ideas that we have learned from this webinar series. Thank you all once again. Over to you, Patil, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheila
It's a
ma'am.
pleasure, ma'am.
Sachin, tomorrow's announcement.
Yeah, thank you, Sheila madam, and thank you, Shubhra Roy madam. Before I make the closing comments, Reddy sir, would you like to share something or opine on something?
I think everything is made clear by Dr. Roy. So I don't think that anything is left, but I have just shared her phone number in chat box. So if you want to ask her anything, she'll be available because she is very kind enough. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, yes, definitely. You have given the number, you've shared the number, and I'll definitely see that I take your call and I'm able to answer your queries.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Without
you.
your consent, I have sent you a number.
So, dear teachers, experts, and all senior teachers and Shubhra Roy ma'am, we are going to meet for one more time, last time, tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we are going to be addressed by none other than Praveen Mule sir, and his teaching or his e-class will be based on the writing skills. So till then, it is bye-bye from Elle team Mumbai. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you, Sachin, Narrator, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.